Hello, football family. Welcome into Huddle It Up Films. Appreciate all of you for joining me this evening, both in the live chat and on the replay. Everybody who watches. Tough times for this Ravens team. I know feelings have got to be all over the place from the Ravens flock. I expect interest in the videos to go down. So those of you who are with us tonight and with us watching on the replay, appreciate y'all. Y'all the real ones. And time to hash some of this stuff out because, I don't blame you. However you're feeling, I don't blame you. If you're saying, hey, we still got a chance, we control our own destiny, we'll get into that in a little bit. We can turn it on. We've been through this in 2012 when we won the Super Bowl. I feel you. If you're like, this team's dead in the water, why should I believe? There's no reason to believe. This team hasn't given me any signs of consistency, any signs of life. I feel you too. So, we always respect everybody's opinions here anyway, but especially now, man. Like, how are you guys feeling? I feel kind of defeated. Like it kind of, I think apathy sunk into me a little bit because when we lost that game and the likely touchdown was overturned, and then we get the ball back, it was like we had one timeout, and what was it? A minute 56 left to go, one timeout. Plenty of time to drive the field. I mean, it's not like we had 30 some seconds left. We had 4 times that. Minute 56 left, one timeout. All right, let's drive down. Let's win this game-winning drive. They just took it away from us. Let's go back and get it again. And, what did we only made it to the 30-yard line or something like that. Things looked disorganized. We had a holding penalty. We had a penalty on the kickoff. Never really threatened the end zone, never threw the ball into the end zone. Having that kind of time left on the clock in that kind of situation, man, it's just rough. It's rough around here. So I appreciate all of y'all really much, very much for joining me. I can't wait to get it. Is that right? 47 comments already? Man, you guys are hardcore. I see everybody in there. I'm not going to bring them all up, but I will bring this one up. Well, Samuel, thank you. Chris is watching live from Utah tonight. Bestie Zhang says hi. She'll be listening with me, but cooking, so she won't be in the chat. I think we need pictures of this. I think we need pictures, video. What do they say? Video proof for it didn't happen. Chris and Zhang in Utah. I bet you some of y'all can't even find Utah on the map. Cooking. And I'm sure you guys are going to find out what they're cooking over there. But Ashley, great to see you. The Linda J. Rave, what's going on, man? What's going on, Rave Kingdom? Great seeing you. Dario, you're positive from Dwiz. Feeling the love, man. I'm really, really glad that you guys are here. Heather, my guy, the Cosmonaut. Tough times, man. Tough times. And you guys, Rome, bright and early in the morning in Germany joining us. It doesn't get any much better than this. It doesn't make any playoffs any better than this. Now, I see a long comment from Samuel, so let's address it. Jason, I don't know if we make the playoffs, but I can't be mad, brother. I must be honest. We have been a good team. It sucks not to be going to the playoffs with a great quarterback, but we will be back. So there you go from Mr. Samuel Moore. Level-headed. I don't even know where I stand, man. My emotions are kind of all over the place, and I'm a level-headed fan. I mean, you all know I'm not a young man no more. I'm seeing it all. Cosmo, it's easy. They're beating themselves out there, man. Making baby Jesus cry out there. Man, they're making a lot of people cry out there. And I see y'all saying love. Back on the horse. That's right, J-Dub. That's right. And Alec Polianis. Now, I did invite Alec on the show. He said no. He big timing. Big proud despite the depressing situation. Group therapy led by Brother Jay. Yeah, not led by Alec. Still getting over the cold. And Ashley, new member. See, Ashley re-upped. So thank you to whoever gifted Ashley her membership, and Ashley re-upped. Thank you so much, Ashley. Love you so much, my Twitter buddy. Really appreciate you. Okay, we'll have Ashley send you the photos on social media. So we are going to get social media proof of this happening. And is Tracy in here? I saw somebody say hi to Top Knot. Tracy, I didn't see your comment, though. Lay back, Big Al, I see you. He's on the ledge right now. All right, let's get into the content. But, I couldn't help but say hi to you guys. That's just kind of in my nature. So, first topic bar: control intact. What are their signs of life? So, this kind of surprised me, but when you go to the tiebreakers, the Ravens still control their own destiny. And just wanted to spell it out right here for you. Head to head, of course, is the first tiebreaker. So if the Ravens were to beat the Steelers the last game of the season, they'd be tied 1-1 with each other. So you'd have to go to the second tiebreaker, which is one loss percentage in the division. So yes, the Ravens, Steelers have the same record in the division. If the Ravens won out, they would be even with the Steelers, even if the Steelers were to win out. So that third tiebreaker is the one loss percentage in common games. Now, the easiest way to look at this is to look at the non-common games. Every team plays 17 games, as you know. The Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, Browns, everybody in the AFC North plays the exact same 14 teams. So 14 out of those 17 games, we're all playing the same teams. We all played the AFC East this year. We all played the NFC North this year. The 3 games that were different, and that's where the first place schedule, second place schedule, and so on comes in. It only amounts to 3 games that are different. So we only played 3 different opponents than the Steelers. So the non-common opponents were the Rams, we lost, the Texans, we lost, and the Chiefs, we lost. So the Ravens were 0-3 in non-common opponents. Steelers, for instance, beat the Colts in their AFC South matchup. So if we end up being tied, we actually have the better record with common opponents. So that's the way I always break it down. If you want to know what our record would be versus common opponents, don't try to add up all 14 games. Look at what happened in the 3 games that were different. And in the 3 games that were different, we struck out. We went 0-3. The Steelers won one of those. So versus common opponent, we have the tiebreaker. We have the better record versus common opponents. If we were to come back and put ourselves in a position to beat Pittsburgh the last week of the season and tie them up again. And so there you go. That's the easy way to look at it. Look at the games that are different among them. And then it's a lot easier than looking at the 14 that are the same. So the Ravens control their own destiny still, unbelievably so, after dropping 6 and 7. But are there signs of life? This is what I want to know. Like maybe some of you guys have better more optimistic than me. But to me, I've just seen an inconsistent, a 500 type team all year, a non-complimentary football team. It's like we played well, but we looked, it was close, but we were playing pretty well. And we get blown out by Kansas City. Lamar gets hurt. And then it's just like, let's try to keep the season together. And the defense finally gets its stuff together. Lamar comes back, but he's not healthy. Well, now look, the defense has been adjusted as much as it possibly can. Lamar looked better against Pittsburgh than he has since he originally got banged up. And we're still throwing a game away to the Steelers, who were in desperation mode. We went over that all last week, how bad the vibes were with them booing their theme song and chanting "Fire Tomlin" rampant. It wasn't just a few drunk people. The whole stadium was chanting for "Fire Tomlin." They come in here and hand it to us. Like, man, I just haven't seen it. Like, I believe, didn't the Steelers score on the first drive? So yeah, it's just rough, man. Like that's the kind of game that if you're a serious team, if you're a serious contender, you win. You find a way to win in Pittsburgh and probably make it look pretty against a team like that, even though it's the Steelers and those games are always kind of ugly. Like that's a game we should win comfortably. The defense just regressed. The Steelers hadn't had a completion over 20 yards in over a month, and they were just getting them at will against this defense, picking on Marlon. The offense, Jekyll Hyde, running the ball well. Receivers aren't getting open. You had all those obvious referee taking it to us, sticking it to us. 4 points taken off or given to Pittsburgh, basically. And I don't have to tell you about the other calls, the Rodgers interception and the likely touchdown that were both called in the Ravens' favor on the field. And you know how hard it is to get a challenge won. It's got to be conclusively evident, and they overturned both of them. So I don't know, guys. Like I used to get mad. Sometimes I'm more sad right now. I don't have an honest reaction. Apathetic, maybe like apathy. I don't feel nothing. If I feel anything, I'm just kind of down. But yes, the Ravens still control their own destiny, but what kind of signs of life do you have? And like the one thing I keep going back to is that 2012 season where we bottomed out. We were a 4th and 29 away from not making the playoffs. Ray Rice doesn't get 29.1 yards. So on a 4th and 29, we don't make it. And then Flacco goes on this tremendous run, all-time quarterback run. We shuffled the offensive line in that year, if you guys remember. So I'm like, all right, we can shuffle the offensive line around a little. Yeah, the defense isn't as good as it has been in years past. Lamar goes on this run. We're going to have a miraculous, never been seen before feeling from going down, down, down in the dumps to world champs. But it's tough to see that right now. It's really tough to see that. Okay, Romy Rome says it's dull and late here in Germany. So Romy Rome, up. Wonder if she's drinking. Wonder if she has anything to drink out there. Yeah, Alex said no. Alex big time at me. I think Alex scared to come on when we lose, to be honest. And Alex trying to defend himself, but that's not going to happen here. That's not going to happen. Hey, and happy birthday to Rave Kingdom, aka Big Sexy E3. What's going on, Rave? Happy early birthday to y'all, to you and yours, man. I hope you have a great birthday. I really do. It's Wiz reminding you to smash the like button, please. We're going to get into some content here in a minute. Heather, member for 4 months. Time flies, Heather. The head VP. I'm nervous about this game. Me too. It's kind of hard not to be nervous about this game. I mean, we were at home for 3 straight games, and had a chance to take the division by the balls, and let that up. Let that up, man. Win on Thanksgiving night. We lose 32-14. And then to have what happened last week in our own house, man, I bet you Bisciotti's noticing these empty seats. And Heather with the super chat, thank you so much. Just supporting my friend and brother. Appreciate you. By the way, Heather, step closer on the t-shirts and sweatshirts. More news to come, but I was kind of bummed out that I didn't have that ready for the night, but it's coming. And Heather gifted a membership. Y'all see the members down at the bottom. That is great. Oh, she gifted another membership. Heather, you are the woo man. Tila, hey fam, late, but I'm here. That's okay, Tila. Anytime you make it, it's great. Great time. And I'm seeing a ton of comments. Man, you guys are rocking. Okay, so let's get to the comment bar. I see J-Dub saying, I'm no longer nervous. Whatever happens, happens. I'm with you, Jeremiah. I'm with you on that. Here's something else. The crosswords will be televised. So I don't know if you guys saw this news yet. Jeff Zrebeck tweeted it out right before 6 o'clock. The Ravens' Week 17 game at Green Bay will officially be on Saturday at 8 p.m. So another primetime game. They're on at Cincinnati Sunday, home Sunday night against the Patriots. So the Patriots game got moved to Sunday Night Football here at the bank, our last home game of the regular season. Then we're going to be traveling to Green Bay on a short week, 8 p.m. on December 27th, a Saturday. So it will be televised. It will be televised. The crossroads will be televised. Okay, messing with the setting right there. But yeah, when I first saw this, I thought to myself, man, this is terrible. We don't need any primetime games. We lost to Buffalo in primetime, Detroit in primetime, Cincinnati in primetime, getting embarrassed in front of a lot of people saw the Steelers game last week, Nance and Romo calling it. Like, we don't need any more primetime games. But part of me now, I thought about it a little bit, I kind of like it. And here's why. If we have this big comeback and we are able to make the playoffs, it's going to be exciting. And people are going to be on board. And it's going to be nighttime. Some of us are going to be sleepy. Others are going to be into it. But if this goes bad, if this goes sour in front of the whole country, I think it might force the Ravens' hand, help force the Ravens' hand to make some major changes. Like, the owner, we never hear from him. Both Harbaugh and Eric DaCosta both report directly to the owner. One's not the other one's boss. But after a season like this, the decisions that were made that held this team back, that they eventually made, and the team got better because of it, all that end of the bar stuff that we ended up being right about, your average Ravens fans are even noticing this. And I mean, look at the Lele situation, which is now the guys, Ocho and Shannon Sharp are talking about it on the nightcap. Now, I know those guys are, Super Bowl champions, Shannon Sharp with the Ravens. People watch them because they're funny, they're entertaining, and because they're pros and they can say stuff and tell us details that I wouldn't know, none of the rest of us would know. But those guys don't study film, like I do. Those guys don't follow the Ravens like you do. I guarantee you, or I would suspect at least, that neither one of them knew Daniel Falalele's name coming into the season. It's not like they have time to sit there and study all 32 teams and cover basketball and whatever else they talk about. But even Ocho and Shannon Sharp know about Daniel Falalele, how bad that is, the deactivation of Keith Mitchell, the not adding the vet safety, all the stuff we've talked about on the show, and Coach has blown it. Coach Harbaugh has blown the situation. EDC didn't give him the right pieces. So if this thing does crumble on national TV, maybe it's the best thing, maybe it's the best thing that ever happened. Maybe that's a blessing in disguise. So I don't know if I'm alone on that or not, but it's something to think about. I was bummed about the televised games. Now I'm thinking, you know what? If we make it and we go on an epic run, it'll be on TV at prime time for everybody to see. And if it collapses, we'll be exposed for the world to see. So I kind of like it now that I thought about it. Alec now saying he'll join if I send the link. My goodness, man, this guy. My God, this guy. Maybe I will invite him on. All right, I'm gonna send you the link, brother. I'm doing the old email now. Live show adjustment here. The people are asking for Alec Polianis. Never in my life would I thought that this would happen. The most unlikable friend I've ever had. Snobby. Doesn't know football from the back of his elbow. And the people are asking for him. All right, buddy. I sent you the link. Man. I sent you the link. I love picking on my friends. Hey, Samuel with a 5 spot. All right, great. Let's give us something to talk about. I said all that to tell you the Ravens for life. And of course, I'm always going to rep my team. Let's go Ravens. You know it, Samuel. Behind the scenes here, I do some superstitious stuff just because I'm kind of always been superstitious. I've stuck with this team, stuck with my routines, and been locked in, man. Like I'm doing everything I can to support my team. I'm talking about them in the neighborhood. Some of the neighbors will come up to me and ask me stuff because they understand what I do and draft and how long I study the team and some of my history, my training in football. So they ask me, and I've been positive, man. I've been telling them, and I've been telling them the good and the bad. So yeah. Oh, and we have somebody new. Notice here, EMN or EM Nolan 79. Hi, Em. Very nice to see you. If the refs wouldn't have screwed us, we would have won. What will we be saying? We were screwed out of at least 11 points. Man, it was awful, and honestly, I'm usually the person to be like, you can't blame the refs. Can't blame the refs. You should take care of it. Take your own accountability. Be a grown up about it. But they did. They screwed us. And it almost makes me wonder, knowing how these things work, I wonder if we get some kind of makeup calls, especially with our games being on TV. I don't think the NFL wants to flex us to Sunday night and to Saturday night and have those games meaningless, if you know what I mean. Maybe the Ravens are in for some makeup calls at Cincinnati. But hey, it is very nice to meet you, see you. Thank you so much for typing in. Appreciate that. And I'm going solo tonight, so I'm not seeing all the comments I usually do. See my guy Justin in there. What's up, Just? And Chris, $9.99. Can you believe this? Send the link. She sent in $9.99 for this fool right here. See this guy right here. Alec Polianis, formerly of One Winning Pod. How are you doing, my friend? And did you hear my insults as I was bringing up?
Of course I heard your insults. Of course. It was wonderful.
How were they? Were they on par? Was it up to speed?
I mean, you could have, I think you were being a little soft, honestly. I think you could have been a little bit harsher because, I don't know. It reminded me of like the Grinch song, during Christmas. It's like he eats a toadstool sandwich or whatever it is. All those things.
I'm seeing you're getting credit from Cosmo because you make a great hoagie, bro. You still will
Oh
remember.
man, we're talking about the hoagies again.
Yeah, so the story on the hoagies is Cosmonaut and Alec come over my house. We're watching, what was it? Was it wide receivers and quarterbacks, I believe? Maybe, but we're
Hmm.
watching the combine. We're doing some scouting. I'm in my zone. I'm happy. I got my football friend Alec over here, part of my football family, and then like my real family, Cosmonaut. And Alec, he doesn't understand us Dundalk boys just drink and do our other stuff here. And there isn't a big emphasis on eating. So Alec comes like, all high class, middle class at least, with a big old hoagie sandwich, and Cosmonaut had some, and henceforth, Alec, you're known as the hoagie master.
Yeah, it's a good sandwich. I always enjoy making it. Um, it's been a while though. I haven't had it in a while. We'll have to do it again soon.
Alec is also a meat master, if you know what I mean. Uh, briskets, briskets, slow cook. But no man loves meat more than Alec. I'll tell you that. Good to see you,
Oh
Mr.
boy.
James. Hey, let's see what Tracy has to say. I knew I saw somebody call you out there, Tracy. I'm glad to see you. Can't get excited about this team no more. We shall see what happens. This will be interesting. Yeah, Alec, it's on TV, bro. They kept flexing this. I've stated what I thought already. I'm kind of with Trace. I'm not excited anymore, but I am kind of interested to see this drama play out in real time on national TV.
Yeah, I was joking with somebody at work that they'll probably win this week just to keep it interesting, right? And then maybe Pittsburgh loses, and then everything's like right back on the table for the Ravens, and then they'll have to split one of these two primetime games at the very least, but obviously win out and you're in, but. Like Harbaugh said, they have to prove they actually can win games. It's been a while since we've seen that. Even though like both those games, I feel like you can ID a few things that went horribly, horribly wrong, and are pretty fixable. So I don't know, man. Similar to you though, like expectations are low. They don't have too much reason to think they can compete.
So I'm
I
going to
mean,
ask you
even if
this.
they win, right? Like even if they win, like it needs to be a little bit more buttoned up than it's been.
That's what I was going to ask you. So if they come out this week against Cincinnati, and we went over the Cincinnati numbers the last time you were on, and they just whoop some butt, bro. Like, let's just say defense forces Burrow into mistakes. We contain Jamar Chase for the most part, and we put up and don't get caught up on the number. But the offense looks good. We're in the 30s points wise. Are you would it sway you to be like, holy crap, like I haven't seen this all year. Like we could really do this. Or are you like you need more than that? And Tracy, I'd like to hear what you guys and everybody in
Yeah, I
chat has.
mean, the Bengals game's just a weird one to try to put my finger on. Um, I think it's really going to come down to how they perform in the two primetime games for me to identify. Like, I'm not going to say like, oh, they whoop butt against Cincinnati. I won't be excited because frankly, like they couldn't do that 2 weeks ago in their own house, in Purple Rising and all that good stuff. So that'll still be progress, but uh, I won't get excited about the team until they start to take control in the other two primetime games.
Yeah, I'm
And
with Tracy. I'm not gonna let them hurt me no more, bro. Not gonna let them hurt me no more.
yeah, I feel you. It's been unreal too how unable they've been to defend the house this year. I think they've lost 5 games at home or 2-5.
We've lost 5 games at home, Alec. I
Isn't
believe
that?
3-5 at home. We've
y-
guaranteed a losing record. We got one more to go. So yes, we're 3-5. And the thing
No,
that bums me out
oh
about
yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah. You're right. Yep, yep.
now that there's 17 games, Alec, and I'm saying this to you and everybody else, but every other year you either have not 8 home games or 9 home games. This year we had the 9 home games. None of them were overseas. You know what I mean? Like it was set up pretty darn nice. And to this point, we're blowing it. So
It's such a weird. It's like something happened. Something's in the water. We should go up to what's that? Druid Hill Park and check the water because both Baltimore teams, the Orioles and the Ravens, just are having like extremely low expectation seasons for a lot of players. Injuries, like this is the same team, but they're like playing so much worse, right? Like
same team playing
it's
so much
so
worse.
it's so incredibly similar. The fact that it's this much worse is just wild.
Let's try to turn around now.
Yeah.
Alec, I have support here. Now, I say football family. I got neighbors in here, bro.
There
Laid
you go.
back, big out, born there in Turner Station, though. Yeah, exactly. Turner Station is part of Dundalk. I believe I told Alec this, but the creator of Elmo from Dundalk,
Hmm.
Calvin Hill, father of Grant Hill, from Turner Station as well. Big Hub, Big Al. I spent a lot of time in Turner's with my friends from school and the guys I played football with, some of the guys I played baseball with. And Ashley, of course, lived down Turner's too. Even had friends in White Turner's. Yes, Alec, there is a place called White Turner's here in Dundalk. It's not Turner Station. There's White Turner's. Now that's kind of a crazy place, White Turner's. Ashley and Laid Back Big Al know exactly what I'm talking about with that. So I saw M comment this, and you were early to the game, M. We saw a guard, Lakin Tomlinson. Now, this man's been in the league for 10 plus years. I believe he was a 2016 guy, something like that. 2015, 2016. Remember studying him, a good player, Lakin Tomlinson. Um, so he's a veteran left guard, and he was a starter all through his career until this year, Alec. So this is his game logs this year with the Houston Texans. Lakin Tomlinson started the first 2 games at left guard, and then you could see his playing time get cut. A couple of half games in there, a couple of did not plays. The Texans release him. The Ravens sign him in less than a week to their practice squad. This guy has some experience at left guard. Harbaugh was asked about him today, and was really non-committal. It's like basically we haven't even really seen him yet on the field. But it's hard to ignore the pedigree of somebody who's a 10-year vet and has been a starter the entire time until this year.
For sure. I mean, I think you have to play some roster gymnastics to get him on. I guess maybe they can just cut Ben Cleveland. But yeah, I'm excited to see if he's able to contribute. But I don't know. I feel as though at this point you would want to see Emery before you want to see this guy because he has no like runway. But I don't know. Bakers can't be choosers.
Yeah, I mean, Harbaugh was asked about Emery today. Samuel Moore from the MPB. No way, bro. Off of North Point Boulevard there in the North Point Village. Yeah, man. The North Point Village, man. I'm telling you, man, my people find me. My people find me. But Harbaugh was asked about Emory Jones today, and Cordell asked him actually.
Hmm.
You mentioned that rotating him is a possibility. Is that still a possibility, or is that still the case? And Harbaugh just said no, it isn't. So, sinister me, Alec, the guy who just notices all the bad Harbaugh decisions all the time, said, "Man, this guy's throwing Emory under the bus. This is not fair. He can't be worse than Voorhees." And then maybe something's happening here is like, are they letting Emory Jones practice at right guard? Because Lele, I don't know if you noticed, but he had some nasty interactions coming off the field. Fans saying some inappropriate things to him when he was going down the tunnel.
Oh, really?
They're doing yeah, dude. And you were there, I believe, when they booed him during the warm ups, the pregame intros. Excuse me.
Yeah, I was there for the intros, and it was the thing. I was not there during warm ups, so yeah, I'm not sure about that. But during intros, yeah, there was I was quiet. I didn't cheer for him, but I didn't actively boo. But I did hear a couple boos. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with Emery, but I think he got a raw deal. I was on the vault with Bobby and Sarah breaking down most of his 18 snaps or 16 snaps that he got. He looked fine. The one time he was losing a rep, he actually kept his balance. Unlike Andrew Voorhees, who's extremely top heavy. If you haven't noticed, Alec, like you get a good shot in him, he's going to the ground. Both Lele and Voorhees spent just a ton of time on the ground. That's why I'm thinking, like with Lakin Tomlinson and Emory Jones, just anything, just stay on your feet and just be able to maintain your block. Don't blow the play up.
Yeah.
You don't have to be an all-star. Just don't blow the play up, man. And it's just kind of rough out there.
Yeah, they do fall on the floor a lot. The amount of times I see him just on the ground is pretty killer. What we got going on here, Dennis? Up to another comment.
No, I saw Dennis's comment. He's all fired up. He's ready for that 8-game winning streak, just like 2012. When we went on that run.
I like that.
Laid back Big Al. I grew up on August Avenue, my friend. And that's my mom's house. That's where I grew up. Jackson Road is the cross street, right across the street from Dunlop High School, man. So me and Al, I'm wondering who Al is now at this point, and how old is Laid Back Big Al? Because I lived there. I moved out when I was 18, just turned 19. But yeah, my mom's house is on August Avenue, top of the hill. Used to cut through a wall. It was like 300 steps to Dunlop High School. So me and Laid Back Big Al, we'll DM on that later. That is crazy, bro. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm saying he only played a few snaps. He couldn't say he played bad with a few snaps. Exactly. And the thing was, you got to see his athleticism, Alec, the way he was able to move his feet. He pulled on one of those reps, was actually able to get to the landmark and hit it. Even on Lamar's interception, he chased the man down. You saw Emery in space. He had one penalty, which was his bad rep, but he looked really good in those reps. But again, this is one of those things, Alex, where, like I said, if we have this downfall and things fall apart, if it's televised, like I'm kind of glad it's televised because we really need a change here, some big changes. We can't run it back with the same mentality, the same vibe on the team. You actually mentioned to me that you weren't feeling the energy and the vibe on that last drive on Sunday, where I mentioned the show. We had a one timeout, a minute 56 left, and we barely could get the ball to the 30-yard line.
I know. I mentioned to you, yeah, on the call, and I wrote it up in the in the chat as well. But basically, I've seen them in other games have more enthusiasm, more urgency to run up the score at the end of the second quarter than to score the go-ahead touchdown with the season kind of on the line. A very pivotal game in the season. It was so disorganized. They took forever to snap the ball on that, I think, third down. They were. And just it was lethargic. I mean, they got to the line quickly to clock it, but like otherwise it wasn't tidy. And then of course the sack to end it was just so poetic, frankly. It was definitely very, very frustrating sequence.
At home too, like John's saying, like there wasn't no crowd noise or nothing, bro. We couldn't even get lined up. It was so frustrating. And with Mr. James's comment here, Alec, if you want to add in, I have a response for this. I need you to answer this question and your guest, please. So yeah, Alec, you weigh in on this too. Why is Harbaugh defending this guy? Well, Mr. James, what I'll say is this: I don't mind the coach defending his guy. He should defend all the guys, but actions speak louder than words. So he can say, "Hey, look, Daniel Faalele got a bright future in this." You do it up. You do it professional. Faalele's got a bright future in this league. At this time, we need to sit him down, get him a mental break, let him reset. We just feel like so-and-so is a better option at this place. So, like, defending him with his words is all good, Mr. James. I don't want to see my head coach talking bad about the players, but actions speak louder than word, Alec. Like, the man's getting exposed, cussed out by fans coming off the field, booed in intros. Like, you don't need to be a film study guy to know the Faalele has hurt this team, and so has Voorhees.
Yeah, you don't need to be a film study guy. It's everybody knows about this at this point. It's getting a little crazy. The fact that national media is covering it is something else as well. And they'll definitely. Harbaugh's weird. I dislike when he kind of like insults intelligence in a way. Like, I don't mind him gassing up his players and things of that nature, but like when he was like, "Oh, all in all, the other line's been playing pretty well." Like, it's like, have they?
Good grades.
And like I can understand a way to think that, like, oh, they're all getting C's or better. Okay, whatever. But like the problem is one of them is getting an F every play. I think that's the biggest problem is there's enough Fs that a lot of plays are getting destroyed.
And Ronnie and Roger haven't had good years. Linderbaum hasn't had a good year. The difference with those positions is you don't really have a left tackle, a right tackle, or a center that's better than those guys. The guard, that's why we focus on those guys. Not only have they been bad, but we have had options up until this point. So That's my thought, Mr. James. That's my thought, man. I'm as frustrated as anybody with it, for real. Believe me. So yeah, Crossroads will be televised. Lake and Tomlinson. Let's get to this, man. Thoughts on Lamar? Alec, I did a cut up on the channel of the O line, the pass protection, and Lamar Jackson. And I was actually encouraged with what I saw by Lamar. And a lot of people are saying, bad game by Lamar. He's terrible. He's in a funk. You can't throw that. I didn't necessarily see that. I saw 2 to 3 throws that I think Lamar would want back. One of them was in the first drive. We had to settle for a field goal. If you guys remember, he tried to throw like a fade ball to Zay Flowers, and it was way underthrown. Could have been intercepted. It was a nice job by Zay to get in there, break that thing up. But Lamar taking an unnecessary chance and missed his target by a yard or two. Obviously you're not throwing a jump ball to Zay. You want to lead him. And then the other one that I can remember off the top of my head was the dump off to Derrick Henry, which hit Derrick Henry in the hands, but it's a short check down. Derrick's a very stiff athlete. But, Bateman dropped one. Zay Flowers dropped what would have been a first down. He made some money plays. He made some throwaways. Guys had him around the ankles. He's being able to throw the ball at his receiver's feet to stop from preventing sacks. So I actually thought Lamar looked a lot healthier converting with his legs on third down. I thought Lamar looked pretty darn good against the Steelers. I think his bad streak's being overblown a little bit here.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a little distracted. I think it's tough to evaluate him given the fact that he's having lower body injuries and the leg situation. I mean, so much of throwing is that base, and it's not just your arm. So, I think it's one of those things. Like, yeah, he might be looking healthier as he scrambles, but the way he drives off of it when he passes could be still impacted. And touch is hard. I mean, I don't know. I've thrown a football before. It can be tough. It's like I
probably went like 5 yards and quacked the whole way.
Something like that.
No, you got powerful. You got powerful build, bro. You probably can chuck that thing.
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't have the best arm, but anyways, I think it's tough. I think he's missing some passes he normally doesn't miss. He's not seeing the field as well as he normally does. I think the real problem is that the play calls are not in the reality of the line situation. You're having these long concepts that can't be executed before he's, has all this pressure in his face, and he can't throw on a solid platform at that point. He can't throw that far off that unsolid platform. And it's just like these plays don't mesh well with the current status of the offensive line. Him missing those short throws, frankly, I feel like he's done that for a while. It's not too crazy to see him miss those. And it's also they stick out like a sore thumb because they had a lot of room to run. But I feel like I've seen him miss those throws before, once or twice a game. And I don't know.
Yeah, I just think overall, I think it's been a little over dramatized at this point that Lamar is not himself and struggling. He looked more like himself to me during that Steelers game than he has since he came back. And he's always the big throws have been there. The really difficult, there's just some degree of difficulty throws on there that are pretty crazy that he made. I'm confident in Lamar can bounce back. Where I worry about Lamar is mentally, Alec. I worry that this O-line has just taken this toll on him. He can't trust anything anymore. He can't trust the play call. He can't trust the concept. He can't trust that Falele is going to set the wrong way. I mean, Falele flat out got has been getting the play calls wrong and setting wrong. That's how he got beat on one of them.
Right.
So I'm wondering mentally is where I worry about Lamar.
Yeah, I don't think he has full trust in the offensive line right now, and that's impacting his comfort even when he does have a good pocket. Because I think he spends the first second wondering if he's dead.
Checking to see. I mean, for real, just seeing if the play is going to be dead, and he's going to have to make something of it.
I mean, just think about yourself, right? When you're confident in your partner or like confident in your teammates to like do their job. It allows you to focus on your job better just because you have like confidence. But when you're not confident, you might be like, oh, are they doing this? You're checking up on them, whatever. You're distracted. I think that's kind of what's going on here.
So let's move on to El Injury Reporto here, buddy. The Ravens, really only 2 people did not practice. Lamar with a rest day today.
Yeah, no injury.
No injury no more. And Cheeto
They've all
Awuzie
evaporated.
practice. Yeah, I thought it was funny when Sutton was like, "You really think the Ravens aren't being honest with the injury report?" I'm like, Sutton, come on, man, come on, man. For the Bengals, Trey Hendrickson did not practice. He is out this game. Shamar Stewart hasn't been added to the active roster. Their first round pick from this year, defensive end. They're obviously very light when it comes to bodies rushing the passer. So it'd be nice for them to get their first round pick back, Shamar Stewart. But he just started practicing now, like he's still on IR. So they would have to make a roster move for him to play this week. Zach Taylor said he has a chance this week. The weird one is T. Higgins. Now he was listed as a limited practice today. But again, he banged his head not once but twice. He came back in that game and banged his head again. The Bengals, in my opinion, would be doing a disservice to T. Higgins and his long-term well-being if they allowed him to play in this game. Then again, it's the Bengals. Then again, Zach Taylor's coaching for his life. Then again, Joe Burrow came out earlier than he should have. So I have a feeling if T. Higgins is cleared to play, they're going to say he's healthy enough to play. He's going to play.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm surprised by this designation on Wednesday. We'll keep an eye on it, but that concussion seemed not great, and he can continue to play and whatever. So I think we'll have to monitor that. It'll be interesting though if he does play from like if he's healthy and like whatever. Like let's just assume good faith here. It'll be really interesting that he's available and how the offense can hum. Although I don't know if you saw like how depressed Burrow is. We got like Depresso Burrow.
Did anybody else see this? He's talking about like if playing football isn't fun, then what am I doing it for? And all this kind of. Yeah. I almost cut that clip out. And they asked him if it was football related or personal related, and he said both.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, man. That's like a banana in the tailpipe trick, bro. Like I don't know if I'm falling for it. But yeah, that's something to watch this offseason. I would love to know more about why Joe Burrow. Sad. Is it just the losing? Is it the injury coming back? Is it you don't feel supported by the organization? Is it what's going on? It's girlfriend problems, wife problems. I don't know if he's married. What's going on with Burrow? But go ahead, Alec. I did see that.
He was single when he was in quarterback, but that was a year ago. So who knows now? But yeah, dude. What's that?
TMZ.
Yeah, TMZ.
And saying he saw a report about his retirement. It was weird. It was weird. Yeah, Joe looked and sounded depressed. Yeah, I would suggest you looking up, not now because I want you to be here, but look up Joe Burrow's press conference from today. It was kind of weird. It was kind of like just strange. I wasn't expecting it to take that turn.
Yeah, he seemed very sad. Hope everything's all right for him. It'd be a shame if he Andrew Lucked it, but dude, he's been through a lot. Like, he's not wrong when he says he's been through a lot of injuries, a lot of rehab, a lot of hard injuries too, So,
yeah.
Anyways, we'll see, how he plays this week. It's so interesting about the Shamar Stewart saga from the whole season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess looking at this, it feels as though they'll be healthier than the last time we saw them. But maybe not have the 2 big guns that they didn't have last time either. So we'll see.
The other, note for us that I didn't mention is Ardarius and Davius Robinson now entering their second week of practice. Ardarius, I believe, has been practicing in full all of last week and this week. So
yeah,
Harbaugh, when asked, he's like, yeah, it's a possibility. Having 29 back on the field would make me smile. I don't know what they would do, how they would do it. Maybe they ease him in. But, be quite honest with you, the way Ardarius was playing last year, it doesn't mean he'll be back to last year's form first game out. But definite upgrade over Alohi Gilman. And Gilman hasn't played bad. Ardarius was just that damn good last year.
It'd be really funny if Ardarius comes out after this injury and it plays like to expectation of what he did last year when the whole rest of the team without this like massive injury has been all taking a step back. Tavius is apparently going to play too, even though he has a limited practice today. He was interviewed and he said he was going to play. So we'll see how that goes. And I think you can read the tea leaves a little bit too and see how they got rid of Lawson to think, yeah, they feel like Tavius is going to be available.
Yeah, well, I don't know because Ben Cleveland is now serving his suspension for the DUI he got. Finally, I don't know why it took the week 15 for them to suspend him for it.
I don't know if that's the case.
I think it is.
Might. Oh, you think it's not a new event?
Yeah, I wouldn't have spoke on it if not, but I looked into it. It was one of the big guys like Pelissero or Rappaport or one of those guys.
That's very strange.
It was very strange that it took this long for them to suspend him. But yeah, no matter what the reason, I think Tomlinson was brought in because Cleveland's out. But then again, they were deactivating Cleveland. So
I think though, they were still like one thinner, right, with him now actually out. But I guess like I'm really glad to hear that this is based off the previous incident and not something new. Because I was kind of worried about him from that perspective, if that was the case. But maybe it's not as bad as I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, and Lawson will be there for the taking if we ever want him back to answer Dennis's question. I mean, Lawson hasn't been signed. We got him off the street. So he spoke highly of the organization on Twitter. So you would expect Lawson to be in our plans if we really, really needed him. All right, Alec. Last meeting. And you were here with me to preview this show. Man, just didn't go very well. The night before Thanksgiving. Bengals 32, Ravens only 14 points against that defense. The Ravens with the 5 turnovers, likely crossing the goal line. Zay had one late. Lamar, of course, 5 turnovers for the Ravens. Lamar threw an interception, had a fumble. Just an ugly, ugly game for the Ravens. So instead of putting the season stats up there, I figured that I'd just use this box score. So go ahead, kick us off here. What stands out to you? Because I definitely have something that stands out to me.
Yeah, the rushing is interesting with only 10 attempts for Henry. I understand how the game flowed and how this like kind of happened, but I still think they like let them get dictated to sooner, prematurely. The Flowers target, the reception ratio, and the low yardage is kind of wild as well. I can't I don't know. That whole game is completely like in the dumpster in my brain. Like I can't really remember much of it because it was so sad and also just very cold. Yes. So I don't remember exactly how that Flowers thing happened, but I did recall him being quiet that night. 2 for 6 is not acceptable, not up to the standard. And then also but the good news is a big thing I would point out is that likely Andrew situation. The Bengals we previewed are awful against tight end, and we kept the gravy train going. Yes. We definitely contributed, and if that likely doesn't have that fumble, he has a tutty, and it continues that as well.
Yeah, tight ends did well. So 9 of 12 for what, Alec, on $142 for our tight ends.
Yeah,
right there, a lot of yards per target. I was with you though, like the Henry usage. I understand the 2-minute drill or whatever, but I think in the second quarter, 12 of our 13 plays were pass plays. And that wasn't just a 2-minute drive at the end. That was our previous 2 drives in the second quarter too. So yeah, they didn't get the ball enough. Keaton got the ball enough to break a big one last week. Luckily Keaton is okay. He practiced today. But man, the switch up to Keaton Mitchell, Alec, we were calling for it last week. He got it. Made me some money on my parlays or ladder. Did some laddering with Keaton Mitchell. But I think he has to be a permanent part of this offense going forward. Taking like every third series from Henry until maybe the end of the game when you want to pound the other team with Henry. But Keaton behind a bad O-line, I like Keaton a lot because he's got that chop, 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 change pace, bounce out. Like we saw on the play he almost scored on. The blocking wasn't great, and he was able to slip through a small spot. So yeah, more Henry and more Keaton Mitchell, like from the start this game out. From the start.
Yeah, if Keen's healthy enough to do so, that'd be great. I think that's also like part of the reason Henry got so few snaps is that he Keenan had a couple of those like possessions he owned. He was out there every play, even run or pass. Um, but yeah, I agree with Dennis. Get them touches for 34. He's so electric, dude. He's so good. And he like we talked about 2 weeks ago with this offensive line, I feel like he's able to pitter patter, through the little creases and get out of the way before everything collapses.
For
so
real. Yeah.
yeah, he's the real deal, man. And it's so sad that he like had the piano at the very end of that run because like I was like, there's no way he's gonna get caught, and he just kept going. But yeah. Oh, good night, Heather.
Night, Heather.
Good luck with work tomorrow. I hate getting up early for work. It's the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Um,
that's what
go ahead.
stuck out to me though on the Ravens side. You talk about the Keaton Mitchell, the Derrick Henry, the run game, how good Mitchell looked. If somebody misses their blocks or gets just pushed back on their block, how good he looked. Zay Flowers got blanketed by DJ Turner that game. Not a good look for Zay. And then the other thing is, Alec, not much production from the other receivers. Harbaugh talking about targeting D Hop more. I would love to see it.
Yeah, about time, right? Yeah, he's D Hop's just done good work, man. It's such a weird offense because like you want to get D Hop more touches, but like at the cost of what? Maybe likely doesn't get as many touches, maybe Flowers, maybe Andrews. Like, like there's just like not that many opportunities. Like in this box score, Bateman wasn't even involved.
Right.
It's just like we got a lot of guys that like would like the ball and not that many targets to go around. So it's a little tough, but Hopkins is a good player, man. He blocks well. So I think that's another nice thing. Like get him out there on passing and running downs. Like I think we can get his snap share up. And it's do or die right now, man. We're trying to win these football games. Play him. like
he
this is
kind of
what you're.
commands safety attention. We were talking about slants last week. We only saw one slant pass last week, and it was to Hopkins, and he drew a pass interference on it, so he came through.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a tough guy to guard, and like if he's on that side, he almost kind of like calls the free safety over to him because he's just going to moss somebody and bully somebody and get away with it, do it professionally, to where he doesn't get called for push offs, and he's got that referee respect. So
Yeah.
yeah, if not now, then when, right, Alec?
Correct. Yeah, so hopefully they started deploying him more. Dude, another thing too, like I think he was maybe inactive because he had that injury. I know he didn't have any designation, but you know how it is, dude. Like they're all injured in some respect. But
Yeah,
I
they're
hope
hurt.
I hope that Tez can play and I hope he's like healthy because as much as I love Tylen, like I really do. He like a guy like I have a soft spot for Tylen Wallace. Um when he goes in, I don't think there's like a respect that's given. But when Tez goes in, they have to respect that deep threat. They have to respect that speed. He brings an element that's not just like a receiver who can catch a ball. So I unfortunately do lean towards having him available and him getting some snaps because I think he could
Yeah,
open things up.
dude, it would have been nice to have Tez Walker on that last drive when we
Right,
needed chunk yardage.
dude,
It
and
would have
also
been
like
nice to have him.
yeah, and also similar to like the DK Metcalf 55-yard pass or whatever at the beginning. If you have him out there and you think you have cover one, you can just chuck it, and have him run underneath of it. The safety's not going to get there in time. Like, yeah, I kind of like that play, but I don't know if they trust him to do it.
Yeah, they need to. They need to. Two sisters in style. Thank you very much for checking in. Worried about Jamar torching Marlowe and Gilman again. Me too. Marlon Humphrey was getting picked on pretty bad against the Steelers, and it's kind of tough to see, tough watch. Awuzie, of course, not practicing today, which would mean, and maybe that's why Marlon. I thought maybe they'd play Marlon less in that game, as he was getting beat. You know what I mean, Alec?
Yeah,
Like, all right, let's pull Marlon, give Awuzie some snaps, give Awuzie, but maybe it was because Cheeto was hurt that Marlon was still out there, but he was obviously the mark. They were marking Marlon. Yeah,
he has
it's
some
kind
good plays too, still, but he does. I feel like he does have some limitations in his top end speed and can get got that way. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. I'm a little worried about him even converting to safety at this point. Um, I don't think it's going to happen this year, obviously, but I hope that he could make that transition and be useful for us because I think that'd be really helpful. They have such a log jam at corner. If those two, Kone and Longer Beam, are like healthy and somewhat available or whatever, You know, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of interesting roster turnover gymnastics. And I would love to keep Awuzie around. He's been a real
It's
pleasant surprise.
tough with Marlowe because I'm sure people remember 2023 was a bad year for Marlowe. It was probably it probably was his worst year. And
Yeah,
then he came back last year, and what was he, a Pro
yeah,
Bowl
he
player?
was. Yeah,
And now this year he's struggling. He's ranked, I think, out of 80, 90 some corners, he's second from the bottom or something like that. So, and of course that PFF grades are what they are, but they're not that far off. If you disagree with them, we've seen it. But yeah, um, from the Bengals side in this game, if you want to know how much T. Higgins would help, look at his backup, Mitchell Tinsley.
yeah,
Mitchell
sure.
Tinsley was targeted 9 times, only came down with 2 of those for 22 yards. So fair to say, Higgins over what Mitchell Tinsley did last time the Bengals played the Ravens would be a huge upgrade for Cincinnati. Also, look at Chase Brown, 22 touches in that game, 15 carries, 7 for 7 catches. Samaje Perine did not have as much luck, but Chase Brown, 5.2 yards per carry and 7 catches. We got to do a better job against the running back to just limit all we can because we know Burrow and Chase are going to be really tough to stop on third down.
For sure. Hopefully, they keep running P Ryan like they are. He's not that good. Excuse me. I'd rather them run. I mean, if I were them, I'd just run Chase Brown. I think he's much better, and I think he can handle the workload. But but yeah, dude. Like, it's interesting to me how Tinsley has been surfacing as the guy over Yosevas. I feel like Yosevas is the better player than Tinsley, but it's not the way the target share is going.
Yeah,
Similarly, like Brown did have a lot of success against us. I feel like those little dink and dunks. And Gasecki's a guy to watch out for as well. He can make some moves. We kept him in check in this game, but I would keep an eye on him. They've been leaning on him a lot in the games we haven't been playing against them.
it's very true. Gesicki, Tanner Hudson, of course, had that catch over Kyle, which was depressing. And don't forget, in this Bengals game as well, Nate Wiggins got hurt. The Bengals ran 44
Yeah,
plays in the first half. 44 plays the Bengals ran in the first half. Really had a hard time. Defense was overcoming the offense's turnovers. Nate Wiggins was playing lights out. Nate went down, and the thing kind of went to crap. So big bounce back game for Nate Wiggins makes me hopeful. The Ravens offense against the Bengals defense. Alec, we're not going to spend a ton of time on this because we just went over it 2 weeks ago, and I know you're joining me, and you didn't have to. But the Bengals defense still kind of crappy. Like their best game of the season was
turns
against
out.
us the night
Yeah.
before Thanksgiving, in which they only gave up 14 points. We're in a shootout with Buffalo. You can see they got out of the red in takeaways, so they're not all in the red. 10 of their 16 takeaways are interceptions. So Geno Stone and the boys have been picking off some passes there in Cincinnati.
Yeah, we talked the day before Thanksgiving. The game was on Thanksgiving. You don't remember all those jokes they were making? They were feasting
Yep.
on us.
Yeah, they were eating instead of turkey. They said they were eating raven.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I love the fact that they're not a good defense. I do feel as though their numbers are a bit exaggerated from the earlier part of the season. I think the defense has slightly higher signs of life uh, the last couple of weeks. I understand that they, had a bit of a shootout against the Bills last week, but the Bills are like a team that, in theory has it in them to play well, right? So I would say the Bengals defense is still really bad, but maybe not as bad as they were at the beginning of the year. I hope that we can make these numbers look more worse than they are right now, like even worse than they are right now, through a nice performance. Take care of business and pay a core or whatever.
yeah. Sisters in style. We talked about Turner. I mean, we just saw Zay Flowers' numbers. Turner was all
Yeah,
over Zay Flowers in that game. And the
and
only
we
other
talked about
people,
that matchup too when we were
yeah,
previewing the
we
game. It was
previewed it. PJ
highlighted.
Turner. Excellent. Excellent. So the Ravens, on the Ravens side, it's the red zone offense. The turnovers, we fell back down to 28th in the league in turnovers, and we're taking too many sacks. So, I mean, this team can move the ball. 7.4 yards per pass attempt is top 10. We're running the ball pretty darn well. We just can't convert when it counts, which is third down, but to a larger fact, red zone, just taking too many sacks and turning the ball over. So, same old, same old. Let's look at some of the matchups. I highlighted again. So we weren't lying. Flowers versus Turner. Alec, what do you expect? Can Zay have a better game? I mean, he's coming off one of his best games of the season, making those plays downfield against the Steelers. Impressive performance from Zay Flowers, getting the extra yards, had the one drop, which was really unfortunate. It came at a bad time. But yeah, if we can get Zay going to his normal, back to his normal self, that would be nice. 2 catches last time. What was it?
Yeah, 2 catches, 7 targets for 6 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Zay can beat Turner. I don't think Turner's like his kryptonite or anything. We've seen Flowers have great games against good corners. I just think I don't know, man. It wasn't anyone's night that night. The offense was just not looking great in so many ways. Also, like, don't forget that Flowers got completely bamboozled. Right, he should have had that 40-yard touchdown. But
Oh, on the push off. Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So he had a little bit better of a game than the stats show because of the refs and Vegas interfering with the Ravens. I'm not afraid to say it. I mean, it's just the. I remember just watching, Chase push off, and I thought to myself, well, just it's going to be one of those things. And then when the Flowers one got called, I was like irate because Chase was pushing off just as much, and then you see DK Metcalf do the same darn thing, push off.
You
You
just
know, it's
want
just
consistency. Right.
you know what I want, dude. I've been thinking about it. I want push offs and attacks. I just want it to be a more physical game at the catch point. You know what I mean? You can't use two hands. You can only use one hand for the push off if you're a wide receiver. But like, I would be fine with it, dude. I want to see just like attack at the catch point, make it a more physical game. Why not? Like, I think that might be a more interesting kind of football than this like what's allowed, what's not allowed, inconsistent calls. Just let them have some fun out there. You can't like maul them, right? You can't. I think like it would still be maybe a little tricky, Ricky, but I think that needs to be more physicality at the catch point.
So Derrick Henry highlighted for obvious reasons.
You don't agree?
No, I'm not going to comment on that. That's an out of the box idea. I will give it to you. I think that could go south pretty quickly, though. They want more points, though. Yeah, I
I
don't
know
know.
they do. I know they do.
They're going to let
Dude, I just
MMA.
desperately want the defense to actually be relevant.
Yeah.
I just feel as though there's so much variance on defense that you can invest and you can try to make yourself like the best defense or whatever, but you still might get cooked because like that's just the way the game's tilted.
You like the way I smoothly skipped over it and didn't.
Yeah, no, I know you well enough. You're like, this man. His crazy
Derrick Henry,
ideas.
though, we got to get him going. Keaton Mitchell, putting him in the same boat. Like, look, let's get some easy throws to Lamar, and let's get the running game going against these guys because, I mean, they're just as bad against the run as they are against the pass. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to run the ball down this team's throat. And then also think about this. Marry the old keep the ball out of Lamar's hands. Other teams want to keep the ball out of Burrow's hands. Let's control the
Yeah.
time of possession. Let's grind these fools out a little bit and wear them down. I mean, BJ Hill, a nice player as far as like being able to get pressure on the quarterback, but there's a reason these guys are 32nd against the run. Even with our problems in the interior on the O line and run blocking all together, let's just try to wear these guys out with Derrick Henry and Mitchell from the first quarter on. That would be my strategy.
I like the strategy. I think I'm a little concerned that they're gonna try leaning on Henry a little too much and be like a little too obvious about it. I think sometimes they can be really predictable with their play calls. So I hope that's not the case. I think the real way to get Henry going though is to actually have Jackson keep. I mean, I know like, it's supposed to be a read option or whatever, but I felt like there was a lot of times that it was never really a read. It was going to go to Henry. So I think
Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, no. So I just think when Jackson kept in the third quarter of the game last week, I thought to myself, "Oh, look, they're like serious now." Like this is them actually thinking they need to like bust out the stops in order to get the offense going, and that's what happened. Like I felt, the offense went down to the red zone a lot of times. They just didn't convert at a high rate, which has been a problem all season. But I think that adds a gear to the offense. Jackson looks healthy enough. Like I think we need to start adding that element, and I think things will open up for Henry even more so.
Agreed. The read option with Lamar Jackson the threat of him keeping it definitely helps this offense. The other thing that I think helps this offense and how you get Derrick Henry going and the passing game going is I think our identity on offense, Alec, needs to be play action, run the ball, play action, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, play action, play action. Because it all looks the same. Lamar is very good with the play action. We're getting big plays with pass plays with Ricardo on the field, so it's less predictable. But I love our play action game and some of our runs. We're starting to cook a little bit with Ricardo on the field. I know Pittsburgh isn't a great defensive run defense, but like you're saying, mix in the read option, play action. I think that has to be our identity.
Yeah, I think two sisters in style. I would say like my only concern about being under center all game is that you lose the read option. You know, you can't really do that under as effectively. You know, it'd be kind of like a play action rollout situation or whatever. But I definitely know that under center game, I feel like leans into Lamar's strengths right now. So I think that a heavy dose of it is useful.
Yeah, and I like being out of shotgun and the read option type stuff when it's 3rd and 3,
Yeah.
because they really have to be wary of the quarterback run on 3rd and 3. That Lamar can get that just to assign that, or Derrick Henry can sign it. But yeah, I think we're all kind of on the same page. One more thing I want to point out is the size of the other corners. Dax Hill, 5'10", was supposed to be a slot corner / safety coming out. Jalen Davis, even shorter than him, I think by an inch or two. So you just mentioned the Bengals struggling against tight ends. I would love to see like Hopkins on Dax Hill. Hopkins has like a few inches on him, plus the hops, plus the experience. I would love to see D Hop hopping against some shorter cornerbacks, and Isaiah Likely with the big game against the Bengals. Maybe he can hold on crossing the goal line here and have another big game. So I want to see us use our big people. I want to see us use our height, D Hop and Likely in this game. And if Flowers can only just have a decent game against Turner, then we should be fine everywhere else.
Yep, I think so. Then we flip to the defense.
Sure do. But I want to say hey to my guy Q. What up, gang? What up, Q? It's good seeing you, man. It's good seeing you very much. Okay, yeah, we'll flip to the defense. I know you got to go, and you doing me a favor, but Chris, bro, she sent in a super chat to get you on the screen.
I know, right?
Never gonna live that down, Chris. Never gonna live that down. Hope you know. But yeah, that's good stuff. Okay, so when the Bengals have the ball, obviously a lot of these are Joe Flacco, Jake Browning numbers. The one that sticks out to me, Alec mentioned it last time, is how good they are on 3rd down. Even with the backup quarterback syndrome, Zach Taylor can scheme it up in the red zone. He can scheme it up on 3rd down. And those are two areas in which the Ravens defense have come on and remained pretty darn good in the red zone and on 3rd down. So both sides of the ball, red zone, extremely important in this game, which could be high scoring.
Yep, for sure. Ravens defense is a weird one. I feel like sometimes they just look so on top of things, rallying to the ball, stopping them at the sticks, getting off the field. And other times, they let up these bigger plays and they just they have this like incredible, crazy miscues where they mug up everybody and no one drops, and then there's 4 eyes wide open and it's an easy touchdown. Right. So I'm just hoping that the Ravens, we see a healthier version of this defense, a little bit more locked in. But these 3rd downs, that was what's killer on Thanksgiving night, if I recall correctly. There were so many times that we couldn't get them off the darn field. I think that percentage was higher than 42% against us. And that was like what extended those drives and would allow them to score and have a longer time of possession and all that stuff and tire out our defense.
What bothered me in that game is playing off coverage versus Rodgers. And Burrow is the same thing. Like, it doesn't matter. Rodgers could be 50 years old, still read a defense and be like, hey, Nate Wiggins runs a 4-2. What the heck is he doing 10 yards off the line of scrimmage when I only need 2 yards for a 1st down? Makes the check, swings it over to the guy, and sure enough, it's a 1st down. Like, that didn't make any sense to me, especially with a guy like Nate. Like, what are you worried he's going to run past you? No, he's not going to run past you. Press him up.
They do that stuff all the time, dude. It like I see that so often now watching the Ravens for all these years that like I just assume there's like a higher power, so someone smarter than me. But like, yeah, it always blows my mind because if I were, uh, a quarterback, I too would just try to scheme that up. I know sometimes they try to like do shenanigans where like they'll have Hamilton like at the line and he'll drop really quickly to try to get like fill in that space, but I don't
Right.
know. Yeah, like I know they try to do that kind of sometimes, but I think most of the time there's availability there.
Yeah, we
So
also had a rep on defense, and I know people are going to be frustrated about this when they remember, but it was the long extended play where Rodgers had all day to make himself a sandwich and throw the ball downfield. We had Brent Urban and David Ajabo at the edge
yeah.
and two nose tackles in the middle. So our
Mm.
four-man rush was Ojabo plus Brent Urban, John Jenkins, and Travis Jones. And we wonder why Rodgers seemingly had like 8 or 9 seconds to heave the ball downfield. Some of the stuff Zach does, and man, I've been up and down on Zach, but some of the stuff is just like, come on, man, what are we doing here? I think Tavius will help a lot. I want to give a shout out to my guy Samuel. Thank you, football family, football's family. Love you, Samuel, from North Point Village up in the MPV, bro. Unbelievable. Keep up the great content. You got it, man. You got it. But yeah, definitely frustrating with Zach sometimes, man. He like I want to believe in it, I want to love him, but he'll do some head scratching stuff with this Ravens defense. And I had the banner ready. We didn't get to it, but one of the show topics was rush regression, and you can only blitz so much, Alex. So this is where I'm going to say it is that you start playing the Joe Burrows and some of the quarterbacks you play in the playoffs, you blitz them at your own peril. Like you cannot keep sending extra people. You've got to change the picture on them, change the zones, have people in coverage, and try to get their receivers to force a mistake. We can't live blitzing Joe Burrow all the time. We're going to have to rely on Draymond Jones, Mike Green, hopefully Tavius, Kyle Van Noy to come back and have a better performance because Orlando Brown Jr. and Armarius Mims manhandled us last time. And I have Armarius Mims highlighted. I mean, Alec, this is his first full season starting, if I'm not correct, full season. Draymond
Hmm.
Jones and Mike Green have got to get some pressure on Armarius Mims because Orlando Brown Jr. was locked down last time we played him at left tackle. He looked like the old Zeus.
Yep, we were having trouble there, weren't we? It is tough too. You can't blitz as well, like you were saying. It's difficult. Also, I feel like Burrow does a decent job of ball out quicks. So like, they're good, right? It's tough to get pressure in the NFL these days, and I'm hoping maybe one thing we can do is have Draymond push inside next to Tavius, or like have Tavius there as well, push inside. Like those two guys might be able to team up with Travis Jones to get some interior pressure. Have
No,
Green
I
in
mean we're
there.
kind of doing that now. It's on 2nd and 17, 3rd and 10. Draymond's
Mhm.
going inside, but I mean, shoot, Mike Green in that situation, Mike Green and Kyle Van Noy got to get home. Like we need people to get home.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think the good news too is that I feel like Roquan's been playing pretty well, all things considered. I know someone in the chat um, is a little tired of Roquan, but I feel like he's been playing well.
I
I
think
don't know.
Pittsburgh was one of his better games, actually.
Oh yeah,
Roquan put off a
yeah,
good.
yeah. He's had a couple pretty darn good games this year. I think once Gilman came, he started looking better. I don't know if it's that beginning of the year he needs to get his football shave or what it is, but and also I think he needs to trust his safeties.
So John, he's been our weather guy, which I
Oh
appreciate.
man, nice.
Brutal. One of the coldest games ever played. What was it? The Freezer Bowl, John? I believe it was the Freezer Bowl played in Cincinnati in the 80s, I believe, maybe the late 70s. No, it was the 80s, the Freezer Bowl. But yeah, it can get cold in Cincinnati. High temp of 15. Luckily, the winds are only at 8 miles per hour, so the real feel isn't too much colder. But a high temp of 15, that's pretty freezing. You know what's off. Hopefully, the crowd will be dead, Alec.
Yeah, we'll see. I think man, the Ravens are gonna play a lot of real cold games. I think that's another like underlying thing with the shift for the Patriots game. It's gonna be colder, later in the night, and then of course Green Bay is cold, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be lots of real chilly games coming up. Thanks for that info, though. Wind's always a big thing to pay attention to.
Yeah. Yeah. So, of course, the Patriots game here at home is flexed to Sunday night. So that'll be cold. And then going to Green Bay on a Saturday after Christmas is going to be freezing too. So these Ravens, Tyler Loop's got a kick in the cold. Tyler's kickoffs, I haven't seen Mr. Loop in here in a minute, but Tyler Loop's kickoffs got to improve, bro. Got to improve. We cannot give up field position. Our kick coverage team hasn't been great anyway, Alec, even with all these special teamers that we're activating. So we need Tyler, who's been great on his field goals, to get these kickoffs in order.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a recent thing, so I don't know if it is the colder ball or what it is. But I felt like during the beginning of the season he had a little better control of it. So hopefully it's something they can figure out. I'm sure they've been practicing it.
All right, Alec. Well, I appreciate you joining me. I almost wasn't going to get, but I haven't thought of a score prediction. I was almost going to cancel the score predictions, but you know what? Damn it, I'm not giving up. I'm
What
not
are we
giving
dealing
up
with here?
here on this team. What's up?
What are we dealing with here? Looking up the line.
Okay, well, it's right on the screen, Joe. Just
Oh,
look at
you got it. You got it. All
my
right.
classic graphic here. See, Alec Polianos, he watches the show, but sometimes he forgets.
No, I know you thought you said you were gonna cancel it. I didn't know you had the graphic. I was already pulling up the thing. All right.
Yeah, I have it. So type
Always
in your
prepared.
score predictions now if you would like. The Ravens are 2.5-point favorites. The over/under 52.5. That adds up to about a 28-25 type game, maybe 27-25 type game, somewhere in there. If the Ravens win by 2.5 and the overall over/under is 52.5. My score prediction, I am going for a 30-27 Ravens win. And my bold prediction, let me bring it up here because I did type it up. First overtime game of the season, Alec. Ravens win 30-27 on a Tyler Loop field goal in overtime. Alec, do you have a prediction for us, sir?
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be one of those games. Kind of how you were describing it. I don't know if it's going to go to OT, though. I'm going to say Ravens win by 31-30.
31-30 for Mr. Polianos. Love it, love it, love it. Now we got Mo Verse in here. Is Mo Verse? Does it look like Mo Verse to you, Alec? Or Mo Versace? Let's just go with Mo. We'll go with Mo. 42-21 Bengals. Man, if that happens, Mo. And if that kind of stuff continues to happen, talked about earlier in the show, for those of you who didn't watch it, I encourage you to go back and watch the beginning and some of the topics, especially before Alec came on. It was going
way
great.
Better. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's coming. Damn. It's really really. But yeah, we talked about Lele. We talked about if the downfall would happen on prime time, that it would probably force the Ravens' hand. All these primetime games. So Mo saying 42-21. Oh man, that great. You got me on that one. Samuel Nailbiter 35-31 Ravens, of course. J-Dub going with a little bit lower score, but not really. I mean, that's 53 points. That's right on the over/under. 28-25 seems reasonable for J-Dub. Oh, Ashley's just calling out Mo's 42-21. Jeremiah says, just win. Please just win. Alec, it would make the rest of the shows a lot more interesting. I'm really not trying to get into draft talk right now.
Don't.
Dario, yo. What's up, Dario? 29-27. Ravens. Samuel says Jackson 5. Henry has a $150. Man, see, like if we have a game like this, Alec, I'm gonna try not to be too excited, but there's a part of me that's gonna be like, yeah, we're back, baby. We're back. Baby.
I know. I feel you.
Dennis, thanks for all your participation tonight. Appreciate you, Dennis.
You want to believe, man.
Ravens. Q saying doesn't care about the score as long as we win. I'm with you, Q. It's just been it's been a segment. It's been a segment. Linda J 34-31. And Heather does not like score predictions, neither does Chris. But Heather actually predicted a rushing touchdown from Lamar Jackson last week. So Heather, I noticed your call there. It was a good call. Alec, any final thoughts on this game? We went over the stats, got all the information. Tried not to keep you too long since you did me a favor. The people called for Alec Polianos. We won easy. We won easy. You saw the Easy E graphic last week.
Yeah, I did.
We won easy. We won easy. Chris and the girls were screaming, "We want Alec. We want Alec," and here he is. So, Alec, final thoughts, buddy. What you got for this game in Cincinnati, back on the road after 3 straight home games?
Yeah, I mean they got to win this game. Obviously, this is the moment. You gotta ask for a little too much out of Pittsburgh to have a chance at the division if you lose this game. So go ahead and win, preferably in a nice fashion with the Jackson 5, with those rushing yards, like whatever. Hopefully we can see the defense make some big stops too, maybe some turnovers on Depresso Burrow, and we'll have to just go from there. But it's everything, man. If they lose this game, right, this is when I think everything starts to untangle really strongly. Then they gotta go to prime time. It's New England, 1 seed. Come on, it's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a thing. So, yeah, we'll have to. If we win this game, we have some momentum. We can maybe make a little bit of a run, but they gotta look good. They gotta look good.
Yeah, I mean, this game was ugly. The 5 turnovers the last time we played them. So my final thoughts is, like you're saying, Alec, if we lose twice to a team that would otherwise be 3-9, like the Bengals are 4-9, one of those wins came against us. So
yeah,
this is a team that was 3-9. The Ravens get swept by an otherwise 3-9 team. It's not good. It's not good. So the real Ravens stand up for once this year. We haven't seen this team play an entire game. We haven't seen the offense complement the defense really against quality competition. It's now or never. It's now or never. You cannot go into Cincinnati and get swept. The vibes are already bad enough. You got Lamar not wanting to even come to a podium. The reporters interviewed him in the locker room. Apparently, Harbaugh had to have a talk with him. Lamar's taking it really tough, according to Jeff Zrebiec. He's competitive. He can't stand this. No, I'm feeling for him, man. Feeling for him. We need our guy to be right mentally, physically, and see if we can go on a big run. So that's my final thought.
I think he knows it too. I think he knows that if they can get on a run here, if they can get this right, there's actually an opportunity to do something in the playoffs because the whole AFC is still shaky, right? And that's the hardest part too, man. You had the 23 team, last year's team even, go into in this simulation of the season, and they'd be gangbusters. You know what I mean? So we just need to try to find that mojo, and we'll see.
So with that, I want to say thank you so much, my football family. Love my football family. Thanks to new people who joined in, Dennis, Mo. If I'm forgetting anybody, I will go back and read your comments, but I really appreciate that. Heather gifted 2 memberships tonight. Samuel with the donations, and the lovely Chris. I think you're Chris's man now, Alec. I think she likes you better. I'm just going to throw that out there. Chris with Jang cooking in Utah. Supposedly pictures on the way. So I really, really sending love to all you guys out there. Thanks so much for your support. We'll be back next week previewing Sunday Night Football against the Patriots with the charts. And there'll be more to dig into, Alec, because this week, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, we just went over these matchups in depth 2 weeks ago. So I didn't want to go over the same material, but we played in Patriots. Take a look at Drake May's team, Travion Henderson, first-round left tackle Will Campbell. What do they got going on defense? How do the Ravens stack up against the Patriots numbers-wise? We'll take a look at all that next week. So love to my football family. Thank my football family. Please say good night to the people, please.
Good night, everybody.